Yes, yes, yes. Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Viva Aaliyah. We have actually made it to the month of August. It's August, y'all. Can you believe this? This is the craziest thing in the world. I started this show in March, and it feels like I've done like maybe 5 episodes, but we are in August. This is crazy. I just want to, first of all, before we bring our guests on, thank everybody that is tuning in and has been tuning in and will tune in, and everybody that has supported us. We are so lucky to have y'all. We have a lot of amazing things coming up for season 2, and we'll talk about season 2 here in just a little bit. But I want to talk to you about a couple of things before we bring on our guests again. One is, if you want to know what's going on with Viva Aaliyah or me in general, you can check out my website. And that's AaliyahMartinezQueen.com. We are updating it regularly. There is a massive update coming this weekend. And we have a lot of things going on. We're going to have affiliates. We're going to have anything that we have been in contact with, or anything we've talked about on this show is going to be listed on the website. Of course, if you want to see yourself on the website, you would have already submitted to What's in Your Glass. And anybody that submits to What's in Your Glass is going to have their photo on our website, which is AaliyahMartinezQueen.com. You can also buy Viva Aaliyah merch. In September, we're not just going to have only Viva Aaliyah merch on the website. We're going to have some Aaliyah Martinez merch so that you can rock either Viva Aaliyah or my sickening face on your chest or on your bag or on whatever you want to. The other thing I want to talk about is that we are now on 2 platforms. So if you don't like to view us on Facebook, you can go ahead and view us on YouTube, which we are live on currently. Check out our YouTube channel. We have 3 of our however many videos we have uploaded onto the website, but you can also catch us live each and every Saturday on YouTube. And the last thing is the What's in Your Glass contest. We have had so many entries for What's in Your Glass. Dominic just told me this is episode 18. How is it episode 18 already? Like, this is the craziest thing. What's in Your Glass? So we have a weekly competition to win free stuff. At this point, we are overwhelmed with photos. We love everybody that's submitted. And a lot of our dear friends and a lot of our dear watchers have won. If you want to submit your photo, you do it at drinks@AaliyahMartinezQueen.com. If you want to use the hashtag What's in Your Glass, we love that too. But we are going to reevaluate how we are doing that for our 2nd season. So stay tuned for that. For now, it's still drinks@AaliyahMartinezQueen.com. And you just submit a photo of you and a drink right there. And you have a chance to win free merch. You could win free jewelry. You could win a book that is written by our very own producer. This is not about you. And you can also find that on Amazon and many other sites. But we're actually going to have a very special episode about that book. But without further ado, I don't want to take too much time because I have a lot to talk about with this special guest. I can't tell you how much it means to me to have this person on the show. Her and I have known each other for almost the entire 10 years I've lived in New York City. She is a force to be reckoned with. I had no idea when I met her how many pots she had her hands in. And all of them were brewing perfectly. She is a multitasker among multitaskers and somebody who can take your brand from 0 to hero in literally like 2.5 seconds. She is the owner of a lot of brands. And if you want to check out her stuff, it's at veganluxebrands.com. I want to give a very, 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 very warm welcome to my dear friend. And I'm not convinced she's not a drag queen because she's that fabulous. Her name is Brooke Young. Give it up for Brooke. Honey, how many times have you said you are a drag queen, though?
Facts. I mean, literally, I grew up near the piers during the 90s, voguing down. Like, that's like life for me as a New York City club kid growing up. So thank you. God bless you. Thank you for having me. To all of your viewers and all of your fans, hi, thank you for tuning in to say hi to us, I guess.
Yeah, to say hi to us. And Brooke, just so you know, there's going to be comments going on down below, and if something is pertinent, Dominic will scroll it on, and we will chat about it. So, hi, Brooke. Oh, Sarah already. Look at this, Sarah McDermott. Brooke, you are family. You were raised in Brooklyn. You have the New York lifestyle all up and through you, but you are in Texas now.
Yes. So Houston is definitely my second home. I lived here twice. This is my second stint at 7 years now. And I'm just in love and enthralled with Houston, Texas. It was a great move for the family. But by the grace of God, I'm able to, get back to New York and visit my, brothers and my sisters and my, everyone. So, and, with the businesses that I'm in, being in New York City on either coast and even down here is very important. So, Houston is it was a great move. I'm thoroughly blessed by the move that I made here. It literally changed my life. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're somebody who easily changes your life for the better every step of your way. And before we jump into our questions, I do have to say one thing.
Yeah.
Where you are beat back for
Listen,
Jesus.
honey.
We already know you know how to snatch a face.
You don't crash as many drag balls as I did it in junior high school and not know how to throw in a little contour here and there. So.
Yep. She pulled that face back with those braids, and she went to town. Okay. Yes. So, my dear sister, I have one serious question for you, and that is what is in that glass of yours? We need to know what's in your glass.
Where's my? Oh wait, this is my coaster. I'm looking. Okay, where's my?
First of all, I've already previewed this, and all I have to say is she's trying to be extra bougie on this channel, y'all. So let's let her speak her piece.
This is just a little, just a little something. So sis put together a little whipped cream, candy, chocolate, mint infused, and honey, these mint leaves are actually from my garden outside. These are chocolate. I promise you that. This is rice whipped cream because I'm vegan. So this is rice whipped cream. We have some. This is inside of a margarita, actually, a vegan margarita. It's sugary as hell because I'm about that carb and sugar life. I don't give a damn.
I mean, who isn't though? So we're gonna cheers to each other really quick. No, let's do this. Cheers to you.
Cheers to you. Thank you.
And then I have a question for you, and I'll ask you while you're having a sip. Living as a vegan person, have you found it hard to have like regular drinks or anything like that? And what makes that margarita vegan?
Okay, so I'll start with the second question, and I'll ease on back to the first. So what makes it vegan is just the ingredients that are used, just how they are harvested or made or manufactured or things like that. So just simply cruelty-free. And believe it or not, there's so many cruelty-free options in the universe, believe it or not. Sis doesn't say plus size and curvaceous in the South by just eating some carrot sticks, okay? She eats. She eats and she eats well, honey. So so this is, like I said, rice whip that is melting in the Houston heat, even though I have the AC and the fan blowing. But it's rice whip as opposed to a dairy whip. And then the margarita, all the cane sugar that's from, the earth, So and the chocolate mint leaves I grow myself. That's what makes it vegan. And if anyone is ever interested in being vegan, just look for substitutions, alternatives. If an item or a meal you love calls for egg, just use a substitute. It's really just that simple. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like being vegan is much more accessible in today's day and age. And honey, keep drinking that as much as you want to during this
God
show.
Bless you. It's been a long day.
I bet. It is, I mean, a Saturday at home for a mother of, Taylor. Hi, honey. Taylor. Taylor is a very long-standing friend of mine, and I love him dearly. Actually, back from my days at Michigan State University.
Oh, Michigan. Yes.
Yeah. So we're actually, I'm again like traveling away from the questions. We're actually not just like pseudo family. We are kind of plant family too, because you said you have a garden, and that drew me into my indoor garden, because you know how hard it is to grow stuff in New York City. Shit just does not grow here. Because we have our plants are like what's ever growing on the back of a rat. Or what's in Central Park. That's
right.
So I have actually tapped you for a few questions on things, and that's like cruelty-free pesticides, or like things that are good for your animals and all of that. You have a lovely garden. You've been gardening for how long now?
Less than a year, believe it or not. And
whoa!
Right.
Can I just tell you, I'm jealous. People on watching are not going to know what I'm talking about. Maybe they will. I'm jealous of your monsteras, because mine haven't started putting the holes in themselves yet.
Right.
So
and I rescued that monstera. If y'all want to look it up, monstera plant. When you see it, if you look it up, for those who are tuning in, you'll be like, oh, I know that plant, because it's always in like TV shows or in ads and things like that.
Wallpaper.
Right, wallpaper, t-shirts. I have a shirt with monsteras on it. As a matter of fact, now that I think about it, there's a monstera in one of my latest logo designs.
Work.
Right, so it's a popular plant. It's a sought after plant, but it's actually not an expensive plant. They can range from $15 to, I'm actually eyeballing one that's close to a G. Don't judge.
Judging.
It's an albino monstera, so it's very rare. And it grows part green, part stark white. But I digress. So yeah, I started less than a year ago with my little one of my kids, one of the twins actually, Rain. And that was just our thing. And apparently I have somewhat of a green thumb, because I think that's the mother in me. Like, I will just nurse a plant back to health. I have a rose bush that I regrew, the monstera, as you know. I have just tons, over about 50 varieties at this point, including mint and herbs and stuff like that.
I mean, you are definitely one of the friends I reach out to when I'm like, I know Brooke has this plant, and I know Brooke is successful with plants, so I'm just going to tap into her. And I'm becoming that for other people. So I'm like, I'm kind of like, okay.
Like, oh, I remember that. Okay.
Right.
Nice, right, yeah.
You become the plant guru for somebody else.
Cool.
Speaking of us like tapping into each other, you and I have known each other, honestly, I think for almost 10 years at this point. It's been
totally.
At least 9. And so for anybody that knows me and doesn't just watch this show, knows me out of drag also.
Yeah.
I worked at Sephora when I first moved to New York. That's where Brooke and I met each other. Brooke was our personal beauty advisor. And I actually started as a makeup artist, but when you start as a makeup artist at Sephora, they won't let you do makeup until you take a test.
Right.
And Brooke actually, I remember this, it was Halloween, and Brooke like knew, I had started right before Halloween. Brooke had seen me like do some back alley work, not supposed to be doing it yet. And she was like, we are too backed up. I don't care what management says. I don't care what anybody else says.
Wow.
We have a complicated order, and it needs to be done by somebody, and it's gonna be you. And I was like, okay. And it actually was it was Black Swan. It was one that was popular, and they wanted that, like, the feathers on their face and all that. And Brooke was like, I'm just gonna not lie to you. Nobody that works here besides me or you could do this, and I know you can do this. And I have like 12 clients, plus I have to run this beauty studio, so you're doing it. And I was like, okay.
Facts.
So Brooke gave me that chance, and basically I never had to take that test ever again. I was just like on the floor doing makeup ever.
I didn't know that. You didn't have to take the test?
After that, nobody questioned me.
Wow.
Because our senior artist at that time was Andrea.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And she was like, I'm not even going to test you because you can do more than I can. So
listen, and she's a sweetheart. Love her.
Yeah.
To this day. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, the nicest girl in the world.
Yeah.
So, but I wanted to give that backstory on who you are to me.
Wow.
But I know you to be many, 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 many things. You are a business owner. You're an entrepreneur. You're a makeup artist. You're a skin artist. You have your hands in like many a things. One of them is definitely to me, and I appreciate this about you. You are outspoken, and you do not let anybody silence the voice that is inside of you because you know you have a story to tell.
Yeah.
What in today's world, what are you proud to be outspoken about?
I'm definitely outspoken about being a woman, two, a Black woman, a woman of color, and three, not afraid to live out loud.
Yeah.
And that's a term that started many years ago. It was very much an advertised kind of commercial type of term. But to me, what that means is if you believe in something and your character is strong, then you have every right to guard your heart, your mind, your money, your family, your friends. And that means speaking up about it, whatever that it is. If it means higher pay at a job that you're killing yourself at, it means go into that office and speak to that boss about it. If it means, honey, you're abusing me in a certain way and I can't live this life anymore, it means opening the front door and walking out and telling all the naysayers that told you to sit your behind there and stick with it. No, no, sis, I'm not. You deal with it and leave. If it's, it could be anything. So those are the three things, those are the three things to me, being a woman, being a Black woman, and just living out loud and not being afraid. Because when you live in a box, in a bubble, and you're afraid to venture out, you're definitely, you've given up on yourself, to me.
Yeah.
To me. And I teach my children, I'm obsessed with my kids, right? And when I speak to anyone, be it a friend, family, new perfect stranger at the checkout line, I touch and agree and anoint and talk to anybody I meet. You know what I mean?
You really do, though.
Because I feel like there's such hidden gems in people, and they need to be tapped in order to come out and flourish. And sometimes they just need that right person to say, yo, I see you. I see what you're doing, and that's a good ass idea. And I think you should do X, Y, and Z. And if you need any encouragement, I might have the information to give you. I don't believe in blocking blessings, and I don't believe in hindering information. I think that we all are in this world together, and whatever we have to give each other can be a symbiotic way for us to grow as a people, right? So what am I gaining by keeping all of my awesomeness to myself?
I mean, but
I'm a giver.
It really is true. It is true. You do have a way of like tapping into people's strengths and making sure that they are seen for what they are good at.
Yeah.
I don't remember who you went to see, but I do remember when we worked together, you went to see an entrepreneur in New York City, and it was something like, I mean, I know this isn't who it was, but it was like Cynthia Rowley or something like that.
Okay.
And you came back and you were like, I was literally just sitting there and she walked up to me and she was like, you have good energy, and so we're going to have a conversation. And
it was like a celebrity that came in the store?
No, you went to a entrepreneurial...
like an event or something like that?
Yes.
Got you. Okay.
And it was somebody like that. It was somebody who had built themselves a beauty brand or like a skincare makeup brand. And I just remember you being like, she just came up to me and then we had a conversation and people were like joining in the conversation and we were building off of each other. It was never a moment to me where you were like, oh, I talked to the celebrity. You were like, we were literally like all just feeding off of each other and making sure that like entrepreneurial spirit was in the air. Right. And that was such a beautiful moment for me. And I remember like feeling, yes, love Brooke's attitude. That is my aunt.
You. Oh, hey, hi.
Yes. Brooke's attitude is the ticket.
And Aaliyah, God bless your aunt. Hello, how are you doing? And I think I know exactly what event you're talking about. I was actually, in trying to build a brand, working in and around the beauty industry. I always, and this goes back to speaking out loud and speaking your truth and what you believe in about yourself and what your capabilities are, right? And so I was working, with US Sephora, and in my spirit, I had several ideas for product lines because we're
Yep.
inundated with the best and the master classes and all this stuff. And I'm like, wait, what if we do it this way? What if we do it that way? But when you're here, it's hard to see yourself up there. You know what I'm saying? So I had to pull that from within. And so I would go to these free workshops. And I actually now remember exactly the event that you're talking about. This was an event at Barnard College, uptown in Manhattan. And in the audience, it was for women entrepreneurs, and there were huge panel discussions and breakout sessions. And in a sea, I'm all about taking opportunity. The one thing I was taught this from a pastor many years ago, he said this to me, and it always resonates with me till this day. The one thing that we're given freely is opportunity, and that's the one thing that we don't take. So this woman was sitting next to me, and we're just chit-chatting it up, and lo and behold, she was the then editor at Black Enterprise magazine. And I said, oh no, honey, we're gonna chit chat. And then everybody came in, like you just, said, and everything like that. And that was one of my first major articles in Black Enterprise magazine. Same year, if people here remember Carol's daughter, Lisa Price,
Yes.
the owner of Lisa Price, happened to be on the cover of that February issue of Black Enterprise magazine. And little old me was in there with my first product line, Pedicurians, which was a luxury line for the feet that I developed. And it had shelf space on Whole Foods shelf
Yes.
in Union Square, right up the street from our job.
Yep.
And that was, yeah, it just literally, when you told that story, it all came flooding back to me. And that's how that transpired. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pedicurians was kind of your like jump off for all of the things that you do. Yeah.
It really was. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What I do want to go a little deeper and ask you, what is it like being a proud Black business owner in today's world?
Well, it definitely means not giving up.
Yeah.
Okay. So I grew up in a pro-Black home. And what does that mean? It means love of self, love of culture. My mother spoke both fluently, obviously English, sorry, as well as Spanish. I grew up in an Afro-Caribbean community with a lot of Dominican and Puerto Rican friends and family. I have Mexican family members. So, our culture, our history was very much a prideful thing growing up. For me to look in the mirror wasn't to look at someone that was, less than. It was very a proudful, boastful situation growing up, right? I was never diminished in that way unless it was me inflicting it on myself for various insecurities, right? So with that being said, I always felt like this is something that I carry with me, and I don't care where you're from or who you are. I don't care what skin tone you have, white, Black, or in between. Respect your ancestry. Respect the fact that they broke their backs and built businesses and companies and brands and, worked hard to build things up so that you can one day do the same thing. So that's my perspective. As a female Black business owner, especially in the beauty retail space, I never look at things from a perspective of, oh, there's no seat at the table. Honey, I don't need your table. How about your table is ill fit for me? Okay.
Right.
So
I need my own.
Right. So that's how I think. And once we think that way, then we're able to think outside the box. As cliche as that may sound, it still resonates as true. We need to create things that speak to everyone as opposed to pandering for the moment. So once we get out of our own way and say, hey, I deserve, I can create. Taken back now to a story at Sephora when we didn't work together, because I've worked at 4 doors, A volume stores, and the one that I worked at before I met you actually was when I started developing Pedicurians, and I was in another article like Metro paper or something like that. And I brought it to work, and I'm so excited about this. And a young lady who didn't like me, and I knew it, and it's okay, whatever. I still lived to tell the story. And she said, well, right, and she said to me, well, what makes you think you can do that? And I looked at the shelf, and I said, what makes you think Oscar Blondie could do that? And what makes you think that Frederick Fakai can do that? And who told Dior he could do what he did? And she was shut mouth. I said, so if they can do it, I can do it. And believe it or not, you can do it too. Sometimes when we speak to the enemy and tell them, look, back devil, that devil. Like, not today. You know, so that's, you know, pretty much my standpoint. You know, I feel like we're all deserving of whatever our dreams, however big they are, and we just have to put on blinders and work toward that goal, no matter
Yeah.
what. Mm-hmm.
You started, you talked about it for a second, Pedicurians. You started with that brand. Is Pedicurians still alive? I actually don't know that.
So Pedicurians had a rebrand, and I always listen to my mom. Oh my gosh, my mom is always in my brain. She's no longer with us, but she's always in my brain. And she would say when I was a kid, "You can't be a jack of all trades and a master of nothing." And I rolled my eyes and said, "The hell you say?" And so,
Same.
so Pedicurians is still around, but it's actually gone under a rebrand. And I've since developed several other companies in the beauty realm. I have 2 lines for hair care that are centric to coarser textures and locks. I also have several lines for bath and body, one of which is called Scrubbed. I have Soak. I have Revolution de Hue, which actually I developed when I met you. And it is a luxury product line, which is a 10-in-1 serum oil for the scalp all the way down to the feet. So I'm always developing. I'm always, and to keep me sharp, I write, because my degree is actually in television production and communications. That's where the Emmy nomination comes in. And so I worked in that realm for many years before entering into beauty. So I always write in the beauty realm to keep myself fresh and knowing what's going on and what the trends are, and being able to forecast what the needs are. So yeah, she's busy.
Yeah, Pedicurians developed into those brands, but you actually have more brands than that.
Yeah.
Not just those brands, but you also have brands with your children.
Yes, I do. So I have 2 brands with my children. Actually, my eldest has a brand, and she sold out. She did remarkably well for herself. She bought her first cell phone when she was 9 years old, or around that time, with the line that she developed called Kaori Kiss Natural Lip Balms, and you can find that on Facebook. And one line I didn't create with my twins, but I created it with them in mind, because you always see like the Gerber baby, like back in the day. It was just one look, one aesthetic, right? And you never saw us. And I was actually told in those boardrooms, well, I don't think that a Hispanic child or a Black child will look great on a cover, because people will think it's just for them. To which my question was, well, sis, why do we think it's for somebody else? We're using everybody else's products. We're using Gerber. I grew up on it. My kids grew up on it. So we can change the game, and that's what we're going to do, unless if I have to do it myself. So that's where Mama Ejima comes into play. So Mama Ejima is actually Yoruba Igbo from Nigeria name, which means mother of twins. And as you know, I have a set of soon to be 10-year-old twins, and it's a baby line.
They were like months old the last time I remember.
Oh my God. They are fully grown with 401ks, and I'm over it.
But really?
Over it. Go away. Go that way. Leave me alone.
Right.
Yeah, so I developed Mama Ejima with them in mind. And it's a beautiful line for beautiful babies. I love kids. I love babies. I ain't having no more kids, but I love
if you did, you would be a great mother to them. But I think you've done your work for the Lord already.
Yeah, that's it. We done.
So if anybody wants to check out all of your brands, where is the place that they can do that at?
So they can definitely visit and stay tuned here on Facebook or any platform, Vegan Luxe Beauty and Lifestyle Brands, or at veganluxebrands.com. She does well. Everything sold out. Thank God. However,
okay,
definitely follow me on, and you'll see that when you get to the site. But definitely follow me, Vegan Luxe Brands on IG, or Vegan Luxe Beauty and Lifestyle Brands on Facebook. And that's the place where you can connect with me, ask me questions. If you're interested in starting a brand, ask me questions. I might have the information that will unlock the door for you to, anyone listening who has a brand on their heart, and I'm more than happy to give the information freely. Freely. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that's what makes not just you but other people successful. It's when they succeed, they're going to be like, I got my advice from Brooke, and Brooke owns these brands, and that's going to bring more people to your brands and their brands.
Right.
And then when they pass on that information, it's going to continue to do that. Oh, I got this from XYZ, who got it from Brooke, and Brooke does these things. So
yeah, just passing on the blessings. Like, why keep
yeah.
it? Because life is changing, and the industries are always changing.
Yeah, we all need to be better about that, I think, honestly. And you've
Mhm.
always been good at that. So you
These sprinkles are
obviously
good.
you've worked.
I'm sorry,
I mean, drink it up, babe. Drink it up.
These
You worked
sprinkles are
really hard on
good.
your brand development, which we just talked about.
Mhm.
What advice would you give to anyone looking to build a brand in this year? Because we know, like, brick and mortar is not doing well. Online is doing fine,
Mhm.
but it's not doing great. A lot of people are being laid off. So
Right.
what would you say to somebody who's trying in 2020?
So definitely in 2020, I would say look less at what the chaos is around us and forge ahead anyway. That doesn't mean throw all of your, eggs in one basket. That doesn't mean tap into your 401k and build out a brick and mortar or online this and online that. Right now is definitely, obviously, not the time for brick and mortar. It is not, right? I just advised a dear friend of mine today in regards to that. But what it is the time for is to build up that credit score. If you know that you're struggling financially in some areas, and I don't mean struggling to pay the bills. What I mean to say is, if on paper, it's like, my credit score is not that great. Focus on that for right now. Focus on building that up, because you're going to need that for business lines of credit. You're going to need that to open up, trade lines. So focus on the behind the scenes, back of house first, to lay the foundation before you throw money at an online venture, right? So definitely be speaking to, me. You can contact me and I can give you some advice on that. Or speak to your financial advisor and say, hey, how am I looking on paper, black and white? Then believe in your vision. If somebody made a baby powder, so the hell what? Make another one. Throw some essential oils in that bad boy and keep it the fuck going, because everybody gonna want another type of baby powder. We like different things. We like newness, so there's something new that you can bring to that baby powder. How many types of breads do you see in the bread aisle? Is it just Wonder Bread? Okay, listen. So just keep, so build on your dream and flesh it out. The other thing I would say is to definitely be researching. Always research your industry, whatever it is. Research your competition. Research what works for them. Go to their website and just navigate their website and see how it flows. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not to say that you're copying. It's to say that you're getting an understanding of that space, so that when you tap into it, you're not overwhelmed. But going back to the first point, definitely make sure that money is tight. Make sure you don't have to have millions of dollars in the bank, but if your credit profile is tight, and when an investor comes or when a business loan comes about, you'll be able to tap into it to build out your vision. The one thing I learned as an entrepreneur is, do not overwhelm your own personal bankroll. Don't do it. I've done it. Don't do it. And that's what I'll say about that. Yeah.
Experience is the best form of advice.
Right. Don't do that. Yeah.
In especially in today's day and age, would that advice be the same for BIPOC people and queer people?
Yes, definitely. Because within your communities, every community, there is a need. There's something that someone is needing. If it's in, the queer community, if it's in the, black and brown community, if it's in the Latinx community, whatever community it is, kids, it doesn't matter. There is something that someone is needing. And I bet you, being the developer that I am, I bet you I could find or create one product that every community I just mentioned might need. You know what I mean? So never fret about whether or not something might work for your community. Like, I'm gonna give you a product idea right now, just on the fly, because that's me. That's what I do. So something that I thought of, and somebody could take it and run with it. I know somebody was like, "Oh, that's crazy. Why would you give up your vision? Why would you?" Because it might not suit my parent company that I've created, Vegan Luxe Brands, but
Right.
it just might suit someone else's, community, what they're doing. Okay, so when people put on lace fronts, what I notice is that they typically use their own, okay, their own makeup and own, to kind of like blend it in. But no one's ever made a palette for wig artists that speak directly to the multitude of colors of wigs that one might have.
Yes.
You have 1B, 4, 30, all these different colors, okay? And it's just like, well, you can't use your own makeup for your face all the time to blend that out. So listen, so you could do a whole, what do you call it? A private label company that has a palette with just, like Meron has palettes, makeup,
Yeah.
for those who know,
But like
makeup
wig
artistry.
colors. 1B, 1C, 1.
I've been sitting on that idea for a minute, okay? But
Same.
it didn't suit what I needed, but I've always known that that's something that's been. So my point is this: every culture, every community has a need. Don't be afraid if you think your idea is like, oh, no, flesh it out and continue, because there's somebody out there that's gonna build upon that damn vision, and you're gonna be sitting at home talking about, why didn't I trust myself and why didn't I do it?
As I've said my entire life, they'll be mad than a motherfucker.
Listen, okay? Shit.
Because...
I'll tell you one, even for me, like I'll give you a personal experience that I've had. So years ago, I said, I have one product and it's all black packaging. That's Revolution de Huile. It's a natural oil that I've developed, right? And in French, it translates as the oil revolution, the need of oil for the whole body, top to bottom, right? So it was all black, and people said, "Oh, all black packaging for skincare. No, you need to be white, and you have it all white packaging and all that. Like that's what I mean." So I was like, "No, black packaging is sexy. Like this is gonna be popping, right?" This is like maybe close to 10 years ago.
And then
the following year, listen.
Yeah.
So the following year, I'm sitting at home watching TV, and a Woolite commercial comes on, and then a Glade commercial comes on. And all the packaging was black.
And you were like, that was me 10 years ago.
I told y'all, idiots, black packaging was going to be the lick for women who buy primarily the beauty and products in the household. So never give up on your vision. Forge ahead. There's space for you.
I mean, there's something that you said a bit ago that makes me think more, but also makes me think like, this is something you and I have seen as makeup artists and skincare people and hair care people for years.
Right.
Baby powder is there.
Right.
If you want to develop baby powder, put essential oils in it.
Why not?
Which is true. I mean, think about the makeup community. Let's start there. Makeup community is probably the most saturated community out there. We know. I mean, you can. There's more makeup people than there are people who create blue jeans.
Right.
However, that industry is missing things still.
Mm-hmm.
We'll put Jeffree Star on blast right now. Jeffree Star has a vegan. Huh?
Jeffree who now?
Her.
Huh?
Yeah, her.
What?
Jeffree Star has a vegan brand. Has a cruelty-free brand. But what Jeffree Star is missing is support, because Jeffree Star has been called out for a lot of things that Jeffree Star shouldn't have done.
Right.
So if you're somebody who has a vegan, cruelty-free brand and is cool with all races and has never had anything on your track record.
So you mean inclusive?
That part.
Right.
Then you are going to do... You're going to take exactly what Jeffree Star has and elevate it.
Right.
And your brand could outshine Jeffree Star's brand.
Exactly.
In essence. And that's the beauty of the beauty world in general. It's forever changing. You have to have a new idea. You have to be the person that brings either something new or something back that hasn't
Right.
been back in a while in a different way.
Mhm.
Like, I can tell you, you and I have put out here ideas already. Well, you've definitely put out ideas here already. But I have an idea for, like, who wouldn't want to do a pageant? I want to do a pageant palette of
Ooh.
like these are Aurora Borealis earrings. Like,
Right.
how do
Right.
we make this color that has like 7 different colors in it? How do we do
Mm.
one that's like hair? How do we do one that's like,
Right.
you know, we can do dance tights because that's what drag queens and beauty
Right.
queens use in competition, and that's like a sickening nude.
Right.
But I also want it to be cruelty-free, vegan, and something that has the biggest range that you've ever seen.
Right.
Because that's, you know what, for everybody out there watching, if you want to do something, make something that's from literally like darkest night to white as white.
Right. And I feel
And you will succeed.
yeah, totally. You just have to be unabashed. You have to be unhinged and just like unhinged, not hindered, and just go out there and do what you think is going to work. And that ties back into the reason why there are so many people in the cosmetic realm, because they know that the cosmetic realm makes up about 80% of the beauty retail market, which is why you have other areas that lack. So you have the baby industry that we mentioned, the foot care industry, the men's grooming care industry, the tween and teen industry. Those are areas that are, if you have a product line that's great for those 5 areas I just mentioned, work on it, build it out, and you'll be super surprised, because people are not, well, when I say people, the higher ups, the buyers, and all these other people, the brand developers, are not focusing on those because they feel like the big fish. Let's get the big fish. Let's get the foundation client. And it's just like, and you have people like Fenty with Kindle brands at Sephora come in, and now everyone is changing up how they do business. I walked into a Sephora, and like Smashbox that we've known for years, the great grandsons of Max Factor. There's a little bit of tidbit of information for those who didn't know. Now that they changed how they market, so instead of going from light to dark shades, they put everything on the shelves from dark to light. So that's a trick marketing wise to say, we're here for you. We see you. And it's like, no, you saw my money about 6 months down back.
Yeah. But that's true. They knew that that's where the trend was going, and so they were like, okay, we're gonna market to that. But they're not actually. They didn't add any colors.
No, they didn't. Yeah, they didn't.
And that's the problem. You need a warm tone. You need a cool tone. You need a neutral tone in every shade. And they didn't do that.
I'm looking at you, and I'm looking at me, and I'm not red. This is red, honey. My face is not red. She's chocolate. Okay. So we need to get rid of these red tones on these shelves. Who is that? A puppet? A muppet? I'm human. Look at me. I'm real. You know what I mean? Yeah. Totally. So if you have a vision out there, anybody watching, listening.
That's the problem, though. Yeah. People that develop makeup don't know makeup a lot of the times.
Yeah.
And so they think warm is red and cool is blue. But that's not what we do.
No. That's a nice little Dr. Seuss.
It really was. I didn't realize until after I said it, but
they need it. They need to go back to basics. Go back to elementary school on their ass, because it ain't it. This is not it. And to your point, thank you.
Thank you, Kimmy. She's family.
Yeah, she's so pretty. I love that picture. And so, going back to, those not being the looks, you have a lot of older Caucasian men that are running these beauty brands, and they're doing it because they have the coin to do it. They are investors. And so they put their money to get a return on an industry that will do well even during a recession.
Right.
So dollar and cent wise, can we blame them? No. But when it comes to the innovation, that's unfortunately what's lacking. And I'm speaking again from experience, because I have these conversations with these same gentlemen. So this is not something I'm pulling out of the air. I've spoken to Tom, who's 6 feet over me, and like, sir, this isn't gonna work because you don't wear makeup. Like, you don't get it.
Because Brooke is not the one to mess with. Okay, Brooke Young. Hi,
Hey,
Ro.
Ro. How you doing?
Brooke, you and I have literally been kikiing like we always do.
Right.
I do want to get to the last set of questions, but I want us to play a game.
Okay, sure.
Are you down for a game?
I'm definitely down for a game.
Okay. So today's game is called Keep or Cancel. Dominic's going to play a reel, and then we're going to jump in.
Okay, cool. All right.
Okay, so we have Keep or Cancel. Dominic is going to put something up on screen, and you are going to answer, and then I'm going to answer whether we keep it or we cancel it. Dominic, hit it. Track suits.
Okay.
How you feel?
Well, first of all, I'm all about body, and her body is snatched. Okay, so I'm here for the waist and the hips.
Same.
I don't know. I like it. My thing is, I'm not against it, but I'm just kind of over the Gucci inspired look. So only because of that, her snatched ass waist would have kept it, but because of the Gucci inspiration, I'm gonna cancel it.
I'm here for that. So I think tracksuits in general are a very Victoria's Secret 2000, early 2000 thing. It was like the Paris Hilton, Nicole Richie thing.
Yeah.
And so I'm with you. I think that currently they're all trying to mimic designer, and especially right now because we're all working from home and we can't go out, that people are trying to do athleisure wear like in the most luxe way possible. So I'm with you. I think cancel it. I will say I have been wearing nothing but like athleisure wear at home.
Oh,
like
same. Listen.
Who hasn't? But if we're talking fashion and in the world, then cancel. So yeah.
Facts. I agree.
What's next, Dominic? What do we have? CROCS.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm gonna let you go first. Oh, should we do it at the same time? Does it matter?
Okay, we can do it at the same time, but I don't know if I'll hear you. Okay. We'll do 1, 2, 3. Cancel.
I knew you were gonna say cancel. And if this was 2 years ago, I would have been right along with you. But in honor of my sweet baby girl, my eldest, who I'm obsessed with.
Same.
Okay. So this is a new, resurgence. It's a trend right now. So my daughter is all about it. I just bought her a new pair yesterday.
Wait, are the kids like wearing Crocs
Yes,
now?
honey. This is all the way back for the teens. So that's the only reason why I'm saying keep, because of my boo.
I'm dying.
Yes, with the little things, sticky things inside of it. She said, "Mommy, I want every color of the rainbow for my birthday." So she has about 4 or 5 pairs right now.
This is Kay, right?
Yeah, my eldest girl, Kay. Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, this is where you get in your 30s and 40s and like start not knowing what trends are. So
say, I only know because of her. Otherwise, I would have canceled this shit.
I'm like hyperventilating.
All right, I think Aaliyah froze for a moment. Let me see if I can fix that real quick, Brooke. Sorry about this.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, CROCS, I don't know.
Can you hear me?
All right. Yep, I think you're back.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, no, I think it was just something on our. It was something in our building end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all good. You're back. 3, 2, 1, and we're back.
3, 2,
So
1, and we are back. Yes. So,
good. Yeah, so yeah, Crocs. I would have said no, but my eldest has it. It's a trend that came back, so I'm gonna keep it. These sprinkles, I live.
Alrighty, I think Aaliyah, we lost her power again. If we don't mind, while she's restoring that, Brooke, if you don't mind taking it, we're gonna go to our next slide
Okay.
while
Cool.
she's
Yeah,
doing
sure,
that.
no problem.
Let's get Brooke's opinion on eyebrow slits.
Okay, so eyebrow slits. I had a boyfriend who had these, and we worked with each other at McDonald's when I was like 16, and so I thought it was. I thought it was so cute until I realized that he was stealing money out the register. That I was like, no, screw you and screw these eyebrow slits. So I'm gonna say cancel.
I think they're new. They're like it's somewhat new, isn't it? Like
No,
when
this is old school.
oh, is it? Okay, I don't
From
know.
the 90s. This is from the 90s. Let me tell you.
okay.
I may look young and fabulous and have no wrinkles, but she's an 80s baby. The eyebrow slits are from the 90s. And my ex, like I said, used to have them. And I thought he was too cute with these eyebrow slits. And again, until I found out he was trying to be a felon. So I was like, nope. So cancel.
Cancel. You know what? At first I was like, it's cute that a few people are doing it, but I also, and then I saw everybody doing it, and then I was like, this is not cute anymore. Why is literally everybody trying to do this?
Look, let them mess around and they don't grow back. That'll be a real gag.
Yes. Okay, what's next for us, Dominic? Let's hit it. Okay, face piercings.
Okay, gosh, I don't want to say cancel. I don't want to say cancel because I'm all about free expression. Yeah. And I feel like if you have face piercings, you are badass. You know what I mean? You know what? I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep it.
I think I'm going to keep it too because I feel like there are people who look really good with like a nose ring or like even their labrae or like extra piercing or the dermals. I could never do a dermal for myself. No. But I feel like there are people who look really good with dermals.
Right.
And for those of you who don't know, dermals are the ones that like actually, they have like a base about that big and they go under your skin and they stay there.
Right. Yeah.
And I feel like that's just not for me, but it is what it is for some people. And I think they look gorgeous.
Yeah, same. So keep it.
Keep it. What's next? Fanny packs. I will start this one. I love a good belt bag is what they're calling them now.
Yeah.
We have them on our website. You can go to AliyahMartinezQueen.com and get an Aaliyah Martinez Queen belt bag. Brooke, how are you feeling?
Listen, so when I was a kid in the 80s and with my like, Lisa Frank Trapper Keeper and shit, I was all like, I was all about it. And then somewhere along the lines, these came back twice, actually. And so I was like, I don't know. But listen, that neon fanny pack situation on the screen right now is sending me, and I love it. So we're going to keep,
giving me the life. We're keeping that.
Yeah, we're keeping it. It's
all right, let's do one more, and then we'll jump back into questions. Frosted tips.
Hell no. Get that shit out of here. Honey, I don't got time for that.
So I have no time for this, the one that's on the screen, but I feel like certain people can pull off highlights.
Yeah, highlights, but not this Pokemon Pikachu. Gotta catch them all nonsense. No.
Definitely looks like a Pokemon. Yeah, cancel.
Cancel her.
We're canceling. Sickening. Okay. So now that we have power again.
Praise God. Amen. Let there be light,
honey. So actually, just so everybody knows, about 5 or 10 minutes, my husband is right here. So I'm just looking at him for validation. About 5 or 10 minutes before we jumped on, our super called us and was like, do you have power? And we were like, yeah. Should we not? Should we be worried? And he was like, okay, bye. So twice now, once before the show and once during the show, our power has gone out. So we're blessed to have a producer that can deal with it and a guest that can deal with it. So thank you.
The producer is the jam. God bless your super for trying to be on it, even though he tried to dip dive and twirl out the conversation.
He did try and dip dive.
And thank you to everyone watching. Don't worry. Thank you to everybody watching. Yes, it happens. It's life. Listen, here where I'm at, a hurricane will knock the shit out of a power line. So whatever.
Hello. All right. So you are a fierce ally to the LGBTQ community. What?
How I'm not gay, I don't know. But go ahead. I'm listening.
But seriously, so like, what's the thing that keeps you speaking out and being a part of this community and like fierce for LGBTQ people?
Yeah, super. Like, I get real serious on this. You could tell my whole tone and demeanor just changed.
Yeah.
It's ingrained in me, my DNA, it's in my heart. I take it very seriously. I'll march with the community just like I'll march with the Black Lives Matter community. It's two and the same when it comes to injustice. I'll share with you a story that catapulted me into this level of thinking. And, children are, what you go through something as a child, it affects you obviously throughout your life. So I've told this story many times, and I've shared this story around like many Pride months, and being from New York City and growing up and seeing Pride and being not too far from, where the riots started and everything like that, who set off Pride. When I was in junior high school, I had a very, I'm at the point now where I don't tear up when I tell the story, so forgive me. But I had a very dear friend by the name of David. I won't give his last name. And his drag name is Deja. And so when we were in junior high school, he came out, and I was very naive, believe it or not. I didn't know, I wasn't connected before 5th and 6th grade to the gay community. And you look great. You look beautiful. Awesome. The light just like hit you. So I wasn't, connected or grew up with people in the gay community when I was in 5th and 6th grade. But when I went to junior high school, I studied dance for many, many years of my life, and I met this young gentleman named David, and David made me what I did not know was called a beard.
Ah!
I had no idea that that's what I was being used for, because he used me, girl. He used me. So I played along with it, and I got to learn about his culture, his community, and what he was going through. By the time we hit 8th grade, when it was time to graduate, David was kicked out of his house, and his grandmother, who was raising him, kicked him out because he came out as queer. And I didn't, as a child, we had mutual friends that we danced together with, and they actually ended up taking him in and adopting him. So we still remained friends in our circle and dancing around the city of New York. And we actually went to high school together. We went to Fame High School, LaGuardia High School as dance majors. But that was my first connection to the gay community. And I didn't know how close I was right down the street from where the riot started, that I was so sheltered and didn't really know about this whole universe until I met David. And David touched me in a way that I think like no one else has. It has literally changed my life. And I didn't see a gay boy. I saw a child being cast away by his own blood. And I'm very loyal. I'm ride or die. Okay. Yeah. So at the tender age, of 6th grader, 7th grader, that affected me so deeply, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I was so hurt and upset. And I told you I'm going to try not to cry. I vowed to myself, I said, if I ever have kids, I will never do them like David's mom and grandma did him. So that's the beginning of my that fierceness that you see and that vibe you get. That's where it started. And he and I and our little tag team of crazy kids would gate crash the balls and Roseland Ballroom and all that. And we just had a lovely time. And yeah, that's that story.
I mean, first of all, RIP for Roseland Ballroom, but
right.
But it's a story that has not only led you to be a fierce ally to the LGBTQ community, but it's also what leads you to be a fierce ally for the community to your kids. And what is that like for you? Like, what do you tell your kids? How do you raise them to be accepting and fulfilling to not only their community but other communities?
Yes, so you know, acceptance starts in the heart. And so once we put ourselves outside of, you know, the situation and we look at people for their individuality, and instead of trying to get people to mirror us and realize that everyone's not going to be us and eat like us and drink like us and put on clothes like us, then we're able to be more accepting. And that's how I train my kids, because my mother trained me to be accepting. My mother was the role model. You know what I mean? She taught me about, you know, loving all cultures, nationalities, race, creed, religion. We have friends from all over. I have Jewish friends, I have atheist friends. It doesn't matter. That's how I was raised. So without that, you know, foundation, I, you know, thank God to her who gave me the tools that I needed to raise children in now this day and age. And I love seeing things like Nickelodeon with my kids when they're doing Pride Month shows. And I'm like, what? Like, that's crazy, you know? And, you know, my my little girl Rain, who's a twin, one of the twins, she's all about the culture. She's all about dragging down the house and turning on her Vogue music. And, you know, she's just a very free spirit. But beyond how, you know, commercialized people make the culture, they know that at the heart of that, there are people living and breathing and raising families and wanting to work and having two same-sex, you know, parents or whatever. Like, they know that that's a reality. And I'm just so grateful that they grow up in a world where they can see that, ask the questions that need to be asked, and for me to literally say, hey, like, that's what it is. Oh, his mom is coming over. Okay, that's cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just nothing. It's just how it is. That's life. And I, you know, I'm just very blessed that my kids are very accepting of that. Like, my daughter, I'll share with you this quick story. My eldest has a T-shirt and it says "Just God" on it, but each letter is in a rainbow color reflecting,
Yeah.
you know, right, you know. So, and you know, she does not identify as, you know, gay or being queer, but she's like, I don't care. Like, try me if you want to.
I mean, she is your offspring, and so I have no doubt that she's just as fierce as you are with that.
Yeah, but we don't play around with injustices around these here parts. We don't try that. No, ma'am. No, sir.
I mean, you luckily for us say have a different these here parts than most people do in those there parts.
Right.
So I know we're running up on our hour time, but I am actually happy that we're having the conversation that we're having. So I hope you're okay going a little over an hour.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
perfect.
Here, just me. We're chilling. I'm good.
One of the things that I wanted to ask you, this is a little bit more of a fun question, but I've always known you to be a fierce person. You are, I mean, you were raised in the age of like true club kid, true New York,
Yeah.
like nightlife.
Yeah, don't get me started.
I mean, you know what fierce queens are. You know what that is. So, if you were to choose a drag name for you, Brooke, what would your name be? We'll start with that question.
So I actually was given a name many years ago.
Ah!
Yes, my drag name was given to me by a beautiful, gorgeous, handsome, sexy man by the name of Christian Mas, who I met at Sephora, who is, oh God, a dream. And he gave me the name Erica LaFontaine of the House of LaFontaine. And
we love the LaFontaines, by the way.
Right. So
was he a Latinx person?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And so he gave me that name and I kept it. And I've had it for going on 10 plus years. Word. And I've also actually sometimes have thought of doing shows, but I never did. You know, I was just like, oh, that would be cool. I could actually do that. But, you know, because I can Vogue and all this stuff. But I was like, you know, I'll just be a spectator and an ally, played my position. But yeah, and so Kay, there were no twins at that time. So Kay is actually Madison LaFontaine of the House of LaFontaine.
Ah! I love Kay. I
Yeah.
really, really, really do. Yes! Elise Marie Rivera.
This girl right here is gorgeous down. You hear me?
Isn't
Beautiful.
she? First of all, we're looking at the
Breathtaking.
profile picture, and I
No,
cannot.
that's how she is in real life.
Can't,
Like, that's real life for her. She's gorgeous.
can't deal.
Right.
Can't deal. Okay, so you actually said the next part of my question, which was why did you choose that name? And so you were given your name by you're like built into a house already. What would be Erica LaFontaine's first performance? Like, what do you envision for dress? What do you envision for song? We need the setup.
The visuals, because I haven't been thinking about this for like my whole life.
Ever.
So Kaori would be, my eldest is Kaori. She would be very upset if I said anything that was obvious, like Diana Ross. So she's like, Mommy, don't do that because they're going to kick you out of the queer community. Do not go in there with that cliche. But I have to admit, I'm obsessed with Miss Diana. Anything, yeah, you know, I just love her. And so anything that was like a mix of Diana mixed with some house, Chicago house.
Maybe Deborah Cox.
Yeah, some Deborah Cox. Definitely some, I'm missing her name, but I think her first name is Cheryl. Oh God, I can't think of her name, but she does, she was very famous for all of the 007 songs and stuff of that era of James
like
Bond.
Cheryl Lee Ralph.
No. Like Gold Member, Gold Finger, like all that stuff goes. She's like,
you're thinking of Shirley Bassey.
Yes, Shirley Bassey. Oh my God, I fucking live. You hear me?
Yeah, like live. The diamonds are forever. That
Yeah, oh, I forgot how beautiful your voice is. Anyways, but anyways, yeah, no, definitely that. Like some type of mix, like come out with her and then end up into like a Diana Club Kid kind of mix.
Yes.
You know, and start out very, you know, demure with all black silhouettes. And then end it with like a big, like kind of like diamond kind of like number type situation. Yeah, so that's what I would do. Yeah.
Okay, so you're not just like a regular drag queen, you're like a cool drag queen because you have not just done a number for your first song, you're literally doing a mix.
Right,
like,
no, it's a mix.
She was like, fuck y'all, I'm doing a mega mix for this first performance.
One song? What the hell is that?
One song? Who does that? 15 minutes later and we're all like, she's still on? No, just kidding. So, okay. I feel that.
Yes, Miss Perry, you already know.
Yes, Kanisha Perry.
Yes, a whole Chicago house.
Come on, Chicago house. First of all, I live for Chicago.
Come on now. It is the house and only house. Come on now. Let the kids know. Give me that footwork. Yes, indeed.
All the footwork in Chicago. What's coming up for you beyond this?
So, beyond this,
obviously a multimedia performance as Erica LaFontaine, but beyond
that show is gonna be excellent. Buy your tickets, like and subscribe, buy your tickets. But you know, for me, you know, as long as I stay true to myself, stay true to my family and my vision, everything will fall into place. Always having a plan A, B, C, and D all the way through till Z and being okay with change. Old Brooke was impatient and not okay with change because she wanted it right here, right now. But you will be humbled. So be okay with change and knowing that there are different ways to skin a cat, if you will, as my Nana used to say. Yeah. So on the horizon for me is definitely the resurgence of vegan Luxe brands. Definitely go to the vegan Luxe brands and follow me on FB, Facebook, vegan Luxe beauty and lifestyle brands, and you can follow the journey as each product line evolves. I'm still mentoring. If you have any questions, please holler at me. Definitely, I will give you the tools needed to succeed in building a brand. Also, I've accepted a role as a management role with Clinique, so that's another day job.
Another day job.
Another day job. And I never, ever, ever wanted to stop utilizing my gift as a writer, which is my original degree in communications from Howard University. Shout out to all the Bison and HU, proud, right? Love, live. Who, by the way, just got a lot of coin from Mackenzie Scott, ex-wife of Jeff Bezos. They just donated a lot of money to the school. Well, she
Hello.
did. Yes, it was a lot of money. So
that was the gag of the century, though, wasn't it?
Oh my God. She backflipped out that relationship and said,
she was like, bye. And here goes all your money,
and
by
here's
the
what
way.
I'm going to do with your coin. While we're at it.
While we're at it, we're going to support people that you hate.
Right. Bye. And we're going to change that last name, too. Scott. It's Scott. Don't call me Bezos. It's Scott. So,
Hello?
I'm also utilizing that degree and writing because I love to write, but I write within the beauty realm. So I'm still writing, and when I say writing, it's for other blog online companies, not my own personal blog or anything like that, like a contracted writer on the subject of the behind the scenes of the beauty industry. That means the dollars, the cents, who's leaving what position and going to what other position. It's kind of like the Financial Times of the beauty industry, if you will. So she's still writing, she's still brand developing, she still has the 9 to 5. Catch me on all platforms, Vegan Luxe Brands. And yeah, and I'm still mentoring and I'm still praying for the kids.
I mean, we have to sometimes, though, right? Seriously, I could not have thought of a better person to be on this show. You and I have gone way over the time that I've gone with most people. So I honestly just want to say that I'm very blessed to have you in my life. You and I have not only kept up with each other, we've kept up regularly with each other, and made sure that we stayed a part of each other's lives. It's been such a blessing to have you as a friend and a mentor and a person that I can just go to and say anything to, really, and know that the response back is going to be something that is empowering and uplifting. And that's just the type of energy you bring to everything you do. I also for everybody out there, I was serious about the palette that I want to do, and Brooke is the first person
I'm serious about it.
I'm gonna go to and make sure that this is reality. But I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you. You're a wonderful person, and you're literally like a mentor, sibling, kiki partner.
Oh, I kick you down.
We've always been that to each other. And so I just am so blessed to have you on this show. And I want to say thank you for everything that you've done.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you.
And I'm so proud of you also.
Oh, thank you. Likewise. Because when I saw the success that you have with, the crowns that you're snatching, and I was like, yes, come on. I need that pose one more time. Just one more time. Are you not living, people? Are you not living for these poses? What are you doing with your time, people? Be living for these poses. But no, when I saw that, to me, what that meant, first of all, thank you for all the kind words and inviting me on. And when I saw what you were doing and how far you were taking it, and from the person that I met to the person that I see before me, and I'm like, yeah, that is the embodiment of following a goddamn vision and not saying no. That's it. And then you wake up happy, and that's motherfucking it right there, bro.
This is it. This is it.
I love it.
If you want to find Brooke, you can go to her website. That is www.veganluxebrands.com. Brooke is not only the head of many, many, many brands, but she is also a beauty brand developer, and you can find her on Instagram at Beauty Brand Developer. I would highly recommend looking into everything that Brooke has done. Even if you're not interested in developing your own brand, if you're looking into developing yourself as a brand, then that is something that Brooke can inspire, even just from Instagram or her websites or anything like that. So thank you, my dear sister.
You.
I will see you in just a second. I'm just going to do our closing, and then I'll be with you.
Bye, y'all.
Love you. All right, everybody. I did not announce our What's in Your Glass winner. And I actually didn't do a What's in Your Glass winner last week, and that was my bad. So we are going to pull last week's winner over to this week's winner. And I'm going to give Dominic a second just in case he's able to pull it up, because he is literally magic. And if he's not, then that's totally fine, because I sprung this on him at this moment. But last week's winner was none other than Kim Bowman. She is my mother-in-law, and she actually submitted her photo and made it into the finals. So Kim Bowman, you have won a copy of This Is Not About You, a story from our very own producer, Dominic Moda. We will send that to you, my dear mother-in-law. Outside of that, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. We have a lot coming up. August is going to be a wonderful month. Next week, we have an entertainer that I can't even tell you how excited I am to have. She was the first entertainer of the year. She's been a former Miss Gay America. She is somebody who has sculpted what drag is today. Her name is Tasha Cole. Tasha will be on with us next week. So thank you for tuning in. I love you all. We're gonna have an amazing end to our season and a wonderful season 2. Before I jump off, I do want to call out 2 things. What's in your glass? If you want to submit to it, go ahead and submit that to drinks@AliyahMartinezQueen.com. You can put hashtag What's in Your Glass in the subject line, or you can just submit your photo of you and your drink. That is always to win something free on the show. You don't have to pay for shipping. You don't have to pay for anything. We do that for you. The other thing I want to call out is our website. I've said it once already, but if you want to check out our website and know what's going on, know who's on the show next, go ahead and check out AliyahMartinezQueen.com. That is Aaliyah, my name, Martinez, my name, Queen, me.com. AliyahMartinezQueen.com. And we will make sure that this is updated regularly so that you know what's going on with us. You can also check out our merch on that website. Once again, I want to thank my guest, Brooke, for being on our show this week. Next week is Tasha Cole, and I can't wait to sit with you for another hour of fun. If you have not yet, check out our social media and our website. But I love you to death, and Viva Aaliyah.